Hi, I'm Nick Maselli. At TD Bank, we believe all citizens need to be informed about the important financial issues that affect their daily lives. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by TD Bank, PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. RWJ Barnabas Health, the Fidelco Group, the North Ward Center, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, and by Verizon. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, Small News, Big News, True Jersey, and by Commerce Magazine.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No. People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
Such a good question. High five.
Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. We're at NJIT at the Jim Wise Theater. We are pleased to welcome a giant in the city of Newark. The city would not be what it is as we celebrate the 350th anniversary of the city without Miles Berger, Chairman and Chief Operating Officer of the Berger Organization, the Robert Treat Hotel. You are the man there, and Robert Treat Hotel is celebrating its 100th anniversary.
That's correct.
By the way, tell everyone who Robert Treat was and why he matters.
Robert Treat was the founder of Newark in 1666. He landed here with the Pilgrims and seeking religious freedom from England. They came here, they landed on the Passaic, not far from where the hotel is today.
And the Robert Treat Hotel, I mean, we taped for so many years there. The old New Jersey Network studio was there, and Miles, just, you and your team have kept things together for so long. So many renovations, a lot of renovation going on there, right?
Yeah, constantly.
Talk about it.
Well, when I took over the hotel in the early 80s, the original hotel, built in 1916, had been partially converted into an office building by a firm called Engineers Incorporated.
Right.
And they had their offices there, and one of the ballrooms was their drafting room with 100 drafting tables where they had architects and engineers drawing. And over the years, we renovated that building completely into a full office building. That's called the Robert Treat Center. So that's the original 1916 hotel. In 1966, a new hotel was added to it, 175 rooms, and those are the rooms that we operate today as the hotel.
Miles, as we've talked over the years, we have so many offline conversations as well. The 67 riots, rebellion, whatever one chooses to call it, what impact did it have on you and your view of what downtown Newark could be and the future of this hotel?
Right. Well, I came here in '76.
Right.
So I'm here 40 years. So the riots occurred before I got here. But they had a significant effect on the downtown area and on the hotel industry in Newark. What we saw happen after the riots is all the hotels that were built for the next 35 years were built only at the airport. That changed.
Not downtown.
Not downtown.
Out there at the airport.
Out at the airport, and you have roughly 25 hotels at the airport today of various sizes and kinds. It was difficult in the 80s and early 90s to get traveling guests to stay within the city. That whole perception and that whole problem has changed over the past decade.
What do you think has changed it?
The attitude and the reality of the city of Newark.
Describe it.
Well, Newark has improved dramatically over the past decade and longer. Downtown is 100% safe. Guests come in, they feel safe. Today they stroll through Military Park, which they couldn't really do even 5 years ago with the renovation of Military Park. The Military Park area has been dramatically improved. We owe credit really to one company that took the bull by the horns, and that's Prudential Insurance Company. By building their new tower on Broad Street across from Military Park, that was the catalyst that enables Haynes to be renovated now and future development, which we're going to see over the next several years right around the park.
And right across the street, we also do some taping at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. It's right across the street from you.
Yes.
It matters.
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
NJPAC brings in hundreds of thousands of people a year to the city of Newark. They spend money in the city, and they also see the city. Many suburbanites didn't want to come to Newark after the riots. That's now changing. And the next generation, the new generation that's coming up today, has outgrown that fear. And Newark is destined to become, as it is the major city in New Jersey, but a destination for entertainment and other venues.
The other thing about you, Miles, is that it always struck me that you're a family guy, and there's a family connection here.
Yes.
Talk about the family connection and this hotel and this city.
Well, my father and his brother started our business in the 30s,
In the
early
30s?
Yes, 1930s. Not in New Jersey, but in the Bronx.
Right.
I'm originally from the Bronx. And they bought real estate. We came out here to Newark when we bought a hotel on Broad Street, the closed Holiday Inn, and opened it up and operated there. And from that building, we ended up buying many more buildings in Newark and Jersey City.
Why? What did they see in Newark?
Well, we saw an opportunity in terms of value. We were able to buy value in Newark, meaning very good buildings at lower prices.
And let's talk about the Passaic River situation. We're going to be doing a lot of our programming centers on what's happening along the Passaic River. People say, oh, the Passaic River, it was polluted. What's going on in the Passaic River?
You're going to be water skiing in the Passaic River one day in the future.
Water skiing.
Water skiing,
Tell
yes.
folks how exciting it is over there.
Well, the riverfront that's being developed by the county and now by the city, River Walk, is going to be a fabulous walkway, boardwalk, pedestrian center with playgrounds and parks and all kinds of activities up and down the river, all the way up to 280, down to where it began in the Ironbound.
And the Robert Treat Hotel, as it celebrates the 100th anniversary in the middle of all this. How do you want to celebrate this as we continue to put information up so people can find out more? How do you want to celebrate this?
Well, we want to celebrate this looking forward to the future. The future for Newark is bright. The future for New Jersey is bright. And the future for this country is bright.
You believe that?
Yes.
In spite of all Newark's challenges?
In spite of all the challenges. People are going to realize soon, as they have in other cities, that Newark is viable. Newark's location can't be beat. 22 minutes to Midtown Manhattan by public transportation. It can't be matched.
Plus right out to the airport?
Right out to the best airport in the region. Many New Yorkers want to fly in and out of Newark and not bother with Kennedy or LaGuardia. We have the seaport. We have every highway. It's a reason, I don't want to get off topic, but it's a reason that a North Jersey casino, if approved by the voters on November 8th, should be in Newark, New Jersey, one of the two.
You're bullish on not just the hotel, but the city.
Yes, yes.
Well, folks, it is the 100th anniversary of a terrific hotel that we have great history with. Those of us on our team and the public broadcasting family owes a great debt of gratitude, particularly our former colleagues at NJN. We would not be around if it were not for the Robert Treat Hotel. 100th anniversary of the Robert Treat Hotel. 350th anniversary of the great city of Newark. We wish you nothing but the best. Miles Berger, Chairman and Chief Operating Officer of the Berger Organization. Thank you, Miles.
Thank
Another
you.
100 years.
Thank you.
We'll be right back from NJIT right after this.
To watch more One-on-One with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
We're pleased to welcome to the campus that he knows well, Brian Kennedy, head men's basketball coach right here at NJIT. Good to see you, Coach.
Great to see you too, Steve. Thank you for having me.
You have a fascinating background. You're born and raised where?
Born in Trenton, New Jersey, raised in Rumson, New Jersey.
Coach where before you got here?
I was coached most recently at DePaul University in Chicago, Illinois.
But wait a minute, you spent some time on Wall Street.
Yes, I did.
How'd that happen?
Everything is 6 degrees of separation, so I had recruited a player by the name of Rashawn Berno out of St. Anthony's High School here in New Jersey.
Right.
His legal guardian at the time, Steve Gladstone, had given me an opportunity to go work with his firm, which included Mark Bavaro and Phil McConkey, two great Giant players, and we had a small little institutional equity trading firm.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
So we talked to the president here, Dr. Bloom, a lot about student athletes, about the connection between academics and sports, delicate balance. How do you see it?
Most certainly. I think, here at NJIT, it's academics first and then athletics. And you know, sometimes in the big college model of big-time sports, sometimes that gets lost, but it's not lost here at NJIT. Academics come first and foremost.
How do you make sure that happens?
By recruiting, by getting out there and making sure that you recruit a student athlete who's got his priorities straight, who wants to come and get a degree at NJIT before any of the basketball.
So it's interesting, Coach. You know who doesn't belong here.
Yes.
I hate to put it that way, but there are other programs, excuse me, in this area, and we know what programs they are because they've been highly publicized, where a kid who comes to that school, goes to that school, it doesn't appear as if academics were that young person's top priority. You can pick it up.
Yes, for sure. And I don't know if you've seen Steve, but there's been over 700 Division I transfers out there this year.
Talk about that.
I think kids now, like you said, they're going to school for the wrong reasons. Maybe they're going for basketball, it doesn't work out, this, that, and the other thing. When the kids come here to NJIT, a kid like Damon Lynn and Tim Coleman have had such great success on the court.
Yeah, talk about those kids so people can understand who they are.
Damon Lynn, who's going to be a senior for us this year, who's been an AP All-American for the last 2 years out of Union Catholic High School in New Jersey here. He's had a phenomenal year. He's had, believe it or not, he's had one of the all-time great college basketball careers out there. He's going to be close to breaking the NCAA three-point shooting record for field goals made, which is just an unbelievable stat. He's going to leave here as the all-time leading scorer, over 2,000 points, and just a great ambassador for NJIT.
But he came here as a student, though.
Had a 3.6 last semester. So Tim Coleman from St. Anthony's High School.
Jersey City?
Jersey City. Played for
Coach Hurley?
Played for the famed Coach Hurley. He played with a bunch of higher, recruited, higher thought of players maybe. He's had the best college career out of all of his teammates. He's going to leave here as NJIT scoring over. He's already scored over 1,000 points.
Does it make it harder for you, Brian, when in fact you're out there recruiting? You're recruiting for this institution. You know how important academics is. This is not a piece of cake academically. And so for some really talented kids who are not into academics, they don't want to participate. Here's my point. Your pool is smaller.
Yes, but we have a great product to sell. And I think we're successful on the court because we're successful off the court. There's a common denominator with the kids that we recruit in the sense that they need discipline, time management skills, and they have a competitiveness to do well in the classroom. And I think that my belief is that carries over onto the court. So they're coachable, they're smart, and they want to win. And I really do think that common denominator of the academic background really helps us.
So talk about that. Clearly you want to win. NJIT has had a history of winning, right? It's competed.
Yes.
Right? They beat St. John's, if I'm not mistaken, in a big game not too long ago.
We beat St. John's last year, and the previous year we beat Michigan, which was really a national story. So yes, we've had a lot of success on the court the last 2 years.
So here's the deal. How do you define success other than having a quote-unquote winning record, which, let's not kid ourselves, does matter? You don't come out here to lose, but it's a question of what you will do to win and what you won't do. How do you define success when a young man leaves this program?
Success would be he's graduating with his degree and he's moving on to, whether it's in his field of study, whether he's going on for his graduate degree, whether he's going on for his doctorate degree, which one of our players is doing this year, Wynn Willis from Baltimore, Maryland. He's in a new business data sciences program here at NJIT for his doctorate degree. Those really are the keys to success for us. And as the basketball gets better, some of our players will have opportunity to play professionally, but at some point in time, the air is going to come out of the basketball and they have their NJIT degree. And what I promote within the program is a family atmosphere. It's our job, it's my job to help them get their foot in the door to start the rest of their lives.
What do you love about coaching?
I love the kids. To me, I love being around young kids. I love the fact that they're molding them, helping them grow from kids into young men. that's really what I love about it.
Leadership. How much of what you do as a coach, beyond the X's and O's, the execution of plays, setting up a defense, a zone, one-on-one, whatever it is, you know, how much of what you teach? I teach leadership right here at NJIT, so I'm curious. How much of what you teach is leadership?
Most of what we teach is leadership. The X's and O's and all that is a small part of what we do. It's the everyday, you know, it's the everyday teaching, going to class, doing the right thing, sitting in the front of class. You know, being, whether you like it or not, you're not a normal student. Everybody knows you because you're a basketball player. So you have to hold your standards up even a little bit higher. You have to be present. You have to be available to your classmates.
How about leadership on the court? Describe it.
To me, leadership on the court is someone who, when things don't go right, it's how you respond. And that's my whole motto for the kids. Not, you worry about the things you can control and how you respond to adversity. And whether you're going to put your head down and go crawl in the corner.
Or blame someone.
Or blame somebody else, or whether you're going to stand up and take responsibility and move on to the next chore at hand and tackle it successfully.
Wouldn't it be great if we had that in a president? I don't mean in NJIT, I mean, never mind. I mean in the country. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you into that, Brian. Brian Kennedy is the head men's basketball coach at the New Jersey Institute of Technology, and the team is the NJIT Highlanders, right?
Correct.
And playing what conference?
The Atlantic Sun Conference.
Okay, and by the way, that's fascinating because there are no other teams in this area in that conference, right?
Correct. It's mostly a southern-based conference, but it's a terrific conference, one that we're, you know, so happy to be involved with, and we think we bring a lot to the conference with our Northeast exposure and so forth. So.
Style of play.
Style of play is definitely different.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve.
Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this from NJIT. Thank you, Coach.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
Janette Scrozzo is development director of a terrific organization called Covenant House, New Jersey. Covenant House is an international organization, right?
Yes, it is.
Founded?
1972.
And you were a little kid, you were 16 years of age in a Catholic high school, and the leader of Covenant House came in, and what happened?
I was really inspired. I remember sitting at the assembly, listening to the founder talk about Covenant House, the plight of homeless kids, and I was really inspired by the young people's courage and resiliency, and I stayed with me for a very, very long time, near and dear to my heart.
And Covenant House mission, describe it.
Our mission is to serve suffering children of the street with absolute respect and unconditional love. Every young person that comes to our doors is welcomed, and we provide food, clothing, and shelter, and then all the necessary services to move kids from homelessness into independence.
You know, we were talking right before we got on the air. There are more kids, young people, who are homeless than ever before.
Correct.
Who are they?
You know, the kids that we're seeing are coming from all over New Jersey. It's just not inclusive to urban kids. They're coming from the suburbs, and of course they're coming from urban communities as well. But they're aged out foster kids. They're kids that have been abused and neglected, kids who haven't had much support from family. But I think the most important thing about those kids when they come through our doors at Covenant House, they have a courage to walk through and say, I'm alone, I'm homeless, and I need help. And those are the kids that we're seeing.
So they come in. I'm looking at the Newark Crisis Center. And by the way, we'll put up the information for Covenant House for people to find a way that they can be helpful. They can contribute money. They can contribute time. What do these young people need?
Well, they need a start. They need a new beginning. Most of the young people prior to coming to Covenant House have been through really insurmountable challenges. They've been living on the street. They've been living in abandoned buildings. They've been living in parks. And what they really need is just someone to give them a helping hand. You know, Covenant House isn't a hand out. It's really a hand up to help kids achieve their goals and their dreams and to move forward in their lives.
Some of these kids dealing with drugs?
Yeah, I mean, we have kids that have been involved in drugs and gangs.
Human trafficking?
Human trafficking is a big piece.
Describe the human trafficking piece.
So, you know, years ago, most people thought that human trafficking was only foreign internationals, but now what we're seeing is that there's a lot of domestic kids that are trafficked, and there's a direct correlation between homeless kids and human trafficking victims.
Describe the trafficking, what that means.
What it means?
It sounds somewhat benign. It's not.
So what we see mostly is kids that have been sexually assaulted, kids that have been honestly bought and sold on our streets, which is hard to imagine that in New Jersey that kids are being, you know, sold for sex, but we're seeing that every day, kids coming to us. A couple of years ago, we did a study in our New York site, and what we identified was that 20% of our kids had been bought and sold on the street. Now what we've done is launch the same study here in New Jersey and talking to our kids to see what their experiences are.
20% of the kids that have come to you?
Yes.
Bought and sold?
In New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Criminal.
Where are their families?
You know, a lot of their families aren't around. When kids are running away from home, they're running from violence, they're running from abuse there, but
they're sometimes running from their homes.
They're running
their
from
families.
Their homes, yeah. And then what happens is they land on the streets and they don't realize that it's even going to be worse. And there's people out there that are looking for them, that are looking to pray. Our kids are vulnerable. They don't have that support system. They don't have their families. And that makes them a target for predators that are out there on the streets.
Why don't we talk about these kids?
I don't know why we don't talk about them. I think, you know, people get busy with their own lives and maybe they don't realize that homelessness or trafficking is a problem in their own communities.
Yeah. So they need mental health.
Absolutely.
Help. They need food. They need shelter. They need a place to feel loved. And by the way, as we put information up, the other thing you said is money matters. It costs about $10 million a year to run Covenant House in this area?
Right, so we have a $10 million budget. We have sites all across New Jersey. You know, we're here in Newark. We have a couple of, you know, our crisis center and then a couple of other programs in the North Ward, but we're also in other cities, Camden, Jersey City, Asbury Park, you know, communities that really need our help, and that's where we are.
You were talking about, is it called Sleeping Out or Sleep Out?
It's our Sleep Out. It's an initiative that's really helped us serve more kids, not only here in New Jersey, but all across the country. So Sleep Out is a great initiative.
We're going to show some pictures of it. Go ahead.
Sure, great. Sleep Out is a great initiative that we started about 5 years ago. Within 6 weeks, we had 50 CEOs agree to sleep outside our shelter in New York City, 41st and 10th, right at the mouth of the Lincoln Tunnel. Yep, there you go.
And why are they sleeping out? By the way, I want to thank our friends at the MCJ Foundation.
They're
who
great.
Told us a lot about your organization. They're great.
They're great people, great supporters.
But here's
of
the
our
thing
work.
I'm curious about. Where's the money in the CEO sleeping out?
So what we ask them to do, we give them a cardboard box, as you see, and a sleeping bag, and they reach out to their family and friends and colleagues and say, I'm sleeping outside for homeless kids so that they don't have to. And it's peer-to-peer fundraising. We set up a website and a portal, and they ask and people give. And so since 5 years ago, we've continued to grow the Sleep Out movement, And we have young professionals sleeping outside for homeless kids. We have moms sleeping outside for homeless kids. And we've raised over $25 million to serve homeless kids.
And Brian Cashman from the Yankees general manager is your?
He's our chair. He sits on our board, another great champion for homeless kids. He sits on our board of Covenant House International, and he's the chair of our executive sleep out, which is happening November 17th in New York City. So New Jersey people are sleeping out for the kids in Jersey. The New Yorkers are sleeping out for the kids in New York, and all the funds really help to change lives.
So can talk show hosts participate?
Yeah, I have a sleeping bag with your name on it, Steve.
I'm serious, you could do this.
Of course you can sleep. It's a great experience. And what's so great about this...
3 seconds, go ahead.
What's so great about this experience is that it's mission focused. You get to meet our kids, there's great programming, and we know that it's going to give you a glimpse.
We'll keep plugging off the air.
Okay.
You do great work, and we'll sleep.
Okay.
Out.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by TD Bank, PSE&G, RWJ Barnabas Health, the Fidelco Group, the North Ward Center, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, and by Verizon. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been produced in cooperation with FiOS One News.
New Jersey is a leader in solar power, and PSE&G is doing its part. With 24 solar installations in New Jersey, projects that are giving landfills new purpose and turning former brownfields green. Solar powers more than our homes and schools and businesses. It powers our economy by creating jobs right here in the Garden State. PSE&G, proud to support New Jersey.